Hi everybody, it's Kirsten from Soulight Hypnotherapy. I've got another Trump-related reading for you guys today. Trump-related, but I'm not, I don't, it's not really a Trump reading. It's about the Muller report. It's about Biden. It's about um, other things. But before we get started with this reading, please go ahead and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it if you would support the channel by just hitting that like button and leaving your comments at the end. Let me know how you like the reading, how you like my style, and yeah, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a donate button on the home page, or you can join me on Patreon and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if anybody's coming into the room. I'm not really going to answer questions. I'm just going to give you my intake of this reading today. So I'm using the 12 Chairs Tarot deck today, along with the Lavira Sibilla and the Sibilla Indivina. Okay, and I'll try to move the board as I go along so you can see. Hi, Jan Edmonds. Nice to meet you. One of these days I'm going to get on camera. I'm a little shy, but once I do it, I'll probably get addicted. So, okay. Just wait a little bit longer. Hi, Eenie baby. Hello. All right, so as I was shuffling the cards, I was thinking that I wanted this reading to kind of just give me an intake of what's coming up between now and the end of next week. And I just asked for a couple of events. You guys know that when I read, sometimes layers come out, and I'll see more than just one subject matter in this section. So it could cover a lot of different events, even though it's only 6 cards that I laid today. So with that understanding, it's really exhausting to try and keep the stories all straight because they kind of all come at you at once, and I see the layers. I know you don't, but trying to convey what those layers are to you, it gets exhausting. So I'm just going to kind of like read each section as I see it, and there are individual predictions or possibilities of things that could happen. Watch the video back and you'll see how it resonates. It'll amaze you. Sometimes I laid these cards yesterday and I'm watching the news today and I already see, oh, that's what that was. It freaks me out. These Sibyllas are amazing. So I'm just kind of waiting for more people. I know that I didn't announce any kind of live reading or streaming, but hi, Tropical 557 from Fort Lauderdale. You have a sweet candor to your comment, so thank you for that. She said she likes my voice. It's great for hypnosis, by the way, so if any of you guys want to check that out, if you have some issues that you want to work out and you haven't been able to clear them, possibly hypnosis would be the route you could take. Hi, Betsy DeJesus and Sadie Travels. Nice to meet you guys. All right, I think that's long enough. I don't like long intros on videos that I watch, so let's begin. So, like I said, this reading is for the week of April the 12th. And what I'm seeing in the reading is we've got the star reversed, which in this deck looks like someone who's holding another person at gunpoint, and they're searching. They're searching for evidence. They're searching for clues or the stash. We've got the Seven of Pentacles reversed. To me, this has come to represent members of Congress, usually the Senate, but it could be, congressmen as well, or politicians, or a group of men working on business. All right. I have done past life regression hypnosis. I'm not an expert at it, but if you're willing to let me practice on you. It's usually a 2 hour session because we have to get you really deep down. But some amazing things have come out of past life regression that I've been involved with. You really get deep down to the root cause of whatever your issue is. It's quite amazing. When you have those breakthroughs, when you have that understanding, it really does change your perception and thus can change your world when you have a new perception about why you do what you do, you know. And then you don't blame yourself so much because we get so caught up in the guilt of our actions that hiding from that guilt or acknowledging that guilt is too hard for us, and that's where we start repressing um, our truth. But anyways, I don't want to talk about hypnosis right now. Let me do the reading. But thank you for asking. Yeah, past life regression is awesome and pretty amazing experience. All right, so Pentacles. We have the Four of Swords reverse. Someone who's in deep thought, taking a break, isolating themselves, being quiet and not speaking. And there's, you know, some danger over this person. So I'm just kind of spelling out the cards while I'm waiting for the room to fill up. We've got the King of Pentacles. I love him in this deck because, you know, notice that there's a witness. Somebody is watching what the king is doing in his private lair, right? This king is reversed. King of Pentacles reverse. Not a good chap. We got the Page of Swords. In this deck, very much a press card. Someone is pressing for information, inquiry, interviewing, that sort of thing, or giving information. And then we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Looks like someone in prison, right? They're keeping their lid tight, their mouth shut. But here, the lid's going to fall open. All right, so that's just a description of the cards real quick. So one side of Congress I feel is discouraged, right? Probing and looking for omits, looking for answers, looking for clarity but not finding it. So someone is discouraged here, and that could be on different levels. Shared energy. Someone is discouraged here about what's coming out. It's dirty, it's ugly. King of Pentacles is dirty and he's ugly. He's nasty, okay? He's not a good chap. And he's not honest. 12 Chairs Tarot is not available. It's a deck that I had made up that I found through a lot of research, the images, and just fell in love with the deck, so I had it made up personally. But it's in Russia, so it's difficult to get a hold of this deck. I tried doing it, and I couldn't figure it out to how to order it from Russia. But maybe you'll be more successful. Anyway, where was I? I can't look at the questions. Don't ask me questions. So yeah, someone is discouraged about what's coming out. It's dirty, it's ugly, and it sullies their star. It dirties their reputation. King of Pentacles has a dirty reputation. I'm already seeing several people this King of Pentacles can and probably is representing. And he's definitely representing the Me Too type of mentality, the male Me Too subject, right? Allegria here that links the star reversed with the Seven of Pentacles talks about one's own party, one's group of friends or fair weather friends. I want to say it's an insider job. This hit, this sully on someone's reputation, this mark, right? It's an insider job. This drop in popularity, it's an insider job. This dirty old man thing, it's a chauvinistic play. And there was something I wanted to say I lost it. Doggone it, I lost it. Something was important about this star and this King of Pentacles. Star witness, but okay. Um, Hopefully it'll come back to me. I'm sorry. That's where I get nervous doing these lives because sometimes it comes real quick and then I lose it and then I lose my place. Um, I feel like amongst someone's friends in Congress, there are those who may not share the same vision, of an ugly vision, right? They may not share the same vision. So there's some division amongst one's party or friends. Maybe that hasn't been discovered yet. Maybe it is discovered, but and these are just things that are going to be happening between now and the end of next week. I don't know how much of this will like play out in front of us, or this is just what the cards are telling me. So I clarified this star reverse, and I got the angry woman. Now you guys know she's angry either way. She's easily pops off on you, and she trolls with her negativity. So she represents an internet troll, someone who uh, is causing negativity, or even I want to say a drop in polls. I'm just really channeling today, guys. I don't know how much sense it's going to make. Okay, you let me know later. Okay, be nice. This person is trying to cause more harm than good. They're not trying to heal the situation. They're trying to make it worse for someone by their comments, or they're making it worse for someone by their comments. Um, I messed around and I looked at someone's comments. I shouldn't have done that. Um, okay, guys, I can't look at that. I can't look at the screen. As is acting very self-righteous and misleading and being immoral in their actions. This troll, which probably is Trump, or Giuliani, or someone just trying to discourage the clearing, the understanding, trying to discourage the clarity, right, of something that's having a depressed moral effect on the populace or on voters, constituents. So I know I'm going around a lot of circles. I'm seeing a lot of different energies. So I'm feeling like some politicians are really worried about losing their constituents because of following this fallen star. The cards are saying that this party is responsible for the uprising, for the upliftment of this demon troll from hell that we call president. Okay, don't get me started. This card is saying that someone whose star can rise to the occasion is not rising to the occasion. Their star is being sullied, thrown at, cursed, um, maligned, right? And it's an insider job, it's an insider hit. All right. So I'm feeling a little Biden there coming in, and it's an insider job, it's an insider hit. Someone is thinking with this Seven of Pentacles reverse. Someone is thinking with the Seven of Pentacles reversed that maybe it's not worth it, you know? Maybe it's not worth it to invest in this race or to invest in this president, right? Whose star and poll numbers are dropping. Maybe it's not smart. I feel like, I don't know what sign Joe Biden is, but I feel like someone is losing faith or lacking optimism. Um, and also I feel like as a collective energy, there's this depression and this skepticism now that we all suffer from because of lack of disappointment, because of lack of disclosure and clarity, and because of the efforts, the constant barrage of efforts to keep things unclear. And it is affecting our morale. And I had to take like a week and a half off after Barr's letter because I was just, I don't know, I had to take some time off from the news. I had to sit out for a little bit. So yeah, I suffered from that. I think we all suffered kind of a blow of trust when that happened. Hmm. Um, Something is not clean. Something is dirty. It's a plot. It's a mission. It's a vision, and it's not clear anymore. It may have been clear in the beginning, but something is dirty here, and they know that it's dirty. It's not clean, or it's planted. And there's a feeling of despair, loss of hope, and discouragement. And I feel that's different stories. So let me just talk about. I feel like the star player, Joe Biden, the one who's supposed to like be the rising star candidate, is discouraged and feeling overwhelmed because of these issues sullying his reputation. And he's considering not entering or dropping out. This is his blessing. This is his honor. This is should be his time. Yet this is unfortunate and ill-fated and probably planted because it's an insider job. It's an insider hit. So I feel it's a democratic player who is responsible for this attack on Joe Biden's reputation. Okay, that's what the cards are saying, and I think it's Bernie. It's because of the star reverse. This person is shisty. The cards are saying, and you guys know my cards can sometimes border on a little offensive with the words that they pop into my head. It's not. It's just the message, guys. I'm just the messenger, but it is a Jewish person, and I think it is Bernie who's behind the Joe Biden because that's his true competition. Um, and I don't have any particular favorites yet as far as like who should run or who could win. Um, I had one moment where Buttigieg, something he said struck a chord in me. That chord that you feel when you hear someone great speaking. Um, but after I saw him, when I heard what he was saying, I felt it. But when I saw him, I didn't feel it. So I don't really have any clear favorites, and I'm going to wait until things narrow down to look at the candidates. But I feel that the cards are saying Joe Biden had the best. This was his time. And it's unfortunate and ill-fated and probably planted an insider job to assassinate his reputation. So I do feel like this is Biden's energy here with his Four of Swords. It could be shared by any other people, like Trump could also be feeling this energy, this depression, this failure to rise to an occasion. Huh. I'm getting a little lost here. Um, but someone is feeling restless, right? And not able to relax. This is really on their mind and it's disturbing them. And they want to talk about it. They want to have peace about it. They've been meditating and praying about it. And I feel like we're talking about Biden. With the Five of Clubs here to verify the Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Victory card is reversed. Again, it's like the Star, a failure to rise to an occasion or to one's potential. Failure to rise to the office one holds. So we could definitely be talking about Trump because he's a pretty lousy president as well, sharing this energy. So one is failing to rise to the standard, and they've had more than enough time to adjust to their station. So there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for this. So I'm asking the cards if he's going to enter the race. And I got the Bambino, and I do feel he's going to still enter the race. I just feel like he took some time to think about it, and he's really discouraged by the ugliness of it all. And I feel like the cards have guidance for Joe Biden. I don't know if he is watching. I'm going to try to move. Uh, I'm going to try to move this camera a little bit. I feel like Joe Biden's is getting some guidance from the cards, um, or this may be something that he's planning to do. I feel like he should have a talk with the women that were offended, and like have a sit down that's on camera, and let them tell him how they felt what he did was uncomfortable. Let them express how a woman's perspective on that sort of thing feels, and then he should honestly hear them out and with compassion understand, but also express from the male perspective how it wasn't intended, or how they intended it, so that there's both sides getting on the table, both perspectives, and then a new understanding can occur through this kind of dialogue. And Joe Biden could be the head of that. Joe Biden could be the mouthpiece, the figurehead for that, and that would be really good, and that would um, uh, really enhance his reputation, right? As someone who, he's older, and there was certain mannerisms that were okay back then, you know, and that aren't okay now. And people have to come to that realization. Did these women make that clear to him at the time? Probably not. And so they need to express, or because of your powerful position, because of your influence, because of who you were, I didn't feel comfortable. See, these are things they can say to him, and he can actually receive it for us all to view. And I think that this would be a good thing, and it would be helpful to the Me Too movement, so that it's not abused, okay? And so he can get out in front of this scandal and make it work for him. And I think that the cards are advising him to do that. Or maybe that's something he's planning and it's just coming out in the cards. So do that, Joe Biden, if someone could share this with him. Because I think that this is the presidential card and it's next to him. I feel like right now that he's got that light shining on him. So he is definitely the one to go after. And he's got to decide whether or not he's going to put in that fight. And I think that he will, because he got the Bambino. I do see him entering. Okay. So let me try to move my. It's not a Me Too issue. I agree. It's not a Me Too issue, but it needs to be understood. And so that's why it needs to be a dialogue. And that's what they need to categorize and have that conversation with the offender and the offendees. You know what I'm saying? I think that that would be good. I think that would bring a lot of clarity, you know. All right. Hold on, I dropped something. Where is it? All right, where am I? Where do I want to go? So this Seven of Pentacles, this has been like my Senator's card, but I feel like right now it's kind of representing the parties, choices, decisions, and votes. So maybe there's some kind of vote happening in the next week or so. And I'm definitely looking at this. Oh, you guys can't see. Sorry, I'm definitely looking at this letter here. Um, so I'm feeling like this is Barr's letter, or it could represent the Muller report. And there's speculation, there's inquiry and inspection, I feel. Because we have, it's on top of the Page of Swords, and it was reversed. So it's definitely a review of a review, something that's already been reviewed, right? The redacted report. So within the next week, they're going to, Congress is going to have it, but it's going to be redacted. There's going to be a lack of clarity, heavy blackout. hmm And I'm feeling like there's senators or there's politicians, people being called into Congress to, or subpoenaed, called in to give testimony, right? And they don't want to be invested in this. They don't want to have to deal with this, okay? So that's a problem for the troll, right? Because now they don't want to deal with that. But back to the report, I feel like this is both sides scanning this report, proofreading this report. Traditionally, the Seven of Pentacles means that, you don't want to put any more investment or effort into something, or what's the point? It doesn't seem to be yielding any results. So I feel like this Barr report, this redacted Mueller report doesn't yield enough results. I feel like there's heavy blackout, heavy redaction. Now, let's talk about this King of Pentacles right here. There's a little bit of delay on my camera. It's throwing me off. All right, this is someone who's corrupt, greedy, selfish, superficial, only concerned with material matters. There's a vile ugliness to this character, this energy. So this could be that someone is ugly in their appearance, Barr, Giuliani, Trump, or their conduct. It could be someone who has, beastly conduct, what they're accusing Biden of, what, a chauvinistic conduct. Um, I feel like this card has many levels and many people. Um, this person could be facing crucial financial challenges or challenges to their security, regarding security and safety of others. There's something here about um, approving security clearances um, for Jared and others, and there's more leaking about that, and big security issues at Mar-a-Lago, the party house, and security issues in the White House, and security leaks from this report. Lots of it. Someone has huge financial debts and security safety issues, huge financial debts and challenges, and or if they have money, it's dark money, it's dirty money, and there's a hungriness for money and power and this energy. So this is a powerful person in charge who has a stain on their reputation. This could be Barr. There is a hungriness in this person who is betraying or going to betray another. Because Domestico, next to it, is the betrayer in the camp. A betrayer in your camp. But before we get to Domestico, let's talk about the King of Pentacles some more. Like I said, I feel like he could be representing Trump, Barr. He could be representing a businessman who's shady like Jared or someone else. He could be representing Giuliani, a corrupt lawyer or a corrupt judge, a chauvinistic male, or someone who conducts himself in a seedy way with younger women. It could be all of these people that the cards are referring to. And there was help by a younger servant, a follower, a supporter, or someone who works for this powerful yet corrupt person, a person who has some corrupt practices, which are witnessed by this servant or this employee or this follower or this team member. And this person is now speaking out, whistleblowing about this corrupt man or his corrupt practices. So I think there's several whistleblowers and there's several things that are being blown about. Not only the security clearances situation, but and more coming out about that, but also this Muller report. There's like, let me not jump ahead. Also, someone could be speaking out about Mar-a-Lago. It's just all over the place. I can't rule any of it out. It's someone speaking out about life in the White House, working with Trump, the justice system, this report, and and there's a view into the Mueller report. There's a view into the Mueller report. Sorry, I wasn't. There's a view into the Mueller report, right? We can see into it, but not all of it. And there may be a view into the vault. This could be the Pecker vault, or into someone's taxes or bank records. Something that we weren't privy to before is revealed to us, but not all of it. So I think the cards are just repeating themselves again, that there's going to be heavy redaction in this Mueller report. But we're going to find out some new things about the money. And maybe some stuff about the Inquirer. And I feel like the cards are saying to watch Ari Melber's special on the Inquirer. I really do. So I guess I'll check it out. I wasn't going to, but I guess I will. Someone is restless to open up about their past history. You know, open the lid on their past history. This is, again, it's just repeating. Someone is ready to leak or to talk now, to come out and talk now about it. Maybe about a dinner or a meeting with someone with the peacock. So this could have to do with Trump or Biden. This could have to do with Trump or Biden. I got one of those arms for the camera, but it's preventing me from moving my board. So Mercury is still having an effect on me. And I'm seeing a Herman Cain issue here. There's a black person here. And is someone from his past may come out, uh, past scandal about Herman Cain, a notorious past, um, like a whistleblower in that effect. And I feel like some of the stuff in this Mueller report that's redacted or that is shared with Congress, maybe that's was shared with Congress but not with us. Maybe that's why the shield is here. Maybe we can't see it, but Congress gets to see it. Yeah, that's what it means. That's what I think after I think they have to go through something to get it though. I don't think it's forthcoming first. I think it's at first it's going to be redacted, but then they get a door into it, but we don't get to see out. Hmm. Provided, because a lot is greedily held back by the corrupted man, by Barr, or consumed or destroyed or blacked out. And the people are restless and uneasy and restless to speak out. So, kind of like a primer has been set. And I feel like the people who've been quiet, as, and there's a lot of inflation about one's ego or one's wealth. I think a lot of um, information about Trump's money is going to be coming out. And someone makes no apologies. No apologies for how they got their money. No apologies. Vanity. So that could be Biden because he didn't really apologize today. But I think that he has apologized. But I think he kind of joked it off. But I think that that's why they need to have a dialogue because from his perspective, he didn't mean anything. But he needs to understand from her perspective, it did mean something. So I really think he should take that advice that I gave earlier, or that the cards gave earlier. And then someone who's in prison, and I'm feeling stoned for some reason, is restless, uneasy. He's not in prison, but he's under gag arrest though. He can't open his mouth, but I think he's gonna say something. Somebody's gonna say something who's not supposed to say something. Um, that's definitely the theme of this reading. Someone says something they're not supposed to say, and they're restless to speak out. It could be about their elitist views or white supremacy. And guys, I mean, have you ever noticed you can't see the card? Doggone it. All right. Okay. Have you ever noticed that Trump talks a lot with his hands? I'm going to have to put this up on a link. But there's this sign that he makes a lot with his hands, like this. And he does it all the time in his speeches. Well, I looked it up, and that's a white supremacist sign. I don't know. I might have to like do a montage of like all of his signs and see what they mean. Look them up and see what they mean. Because there's like, I don't know, subtle messaging here. Subtle messaging. I feel like someone who is can't talk or who may be in isolation or prison wants to talk, right? and to speak out about their friend or about their elitist views or their white supremacy. And or someone could be calling out someone's racism or projecting onto another what the other doesn't deserve because the one who's projecting is guilty of it, if that makes any kind of sense. It's someone who it rarely makes public appearances could make an appearance. This could be someone presidential who has a presidential energy about them or closely affiliated with a president in the past. Someone may make a rare public appearance or statement. This could have to do with or white supremacy. This is like further down, and even though this is for the end of the week, it could you know take a couple of weeks to play out, maybe. But just to end this reading, just finish it because I've gone on too long and I don't think I've made any sense. I clarify this King of Pentacles here with the Success card. This is a person who has a lot of prestige and honor, power and position. They were crowned or elected, right? But um, or they received a character vouch. Someone vouched for the character, but with the King of Pentacles here reversed, they didn't deserve the honor. So I think that that's just kind of clarifying that this is someone who is um, someone definitely who's corrupt, who's whatever honor they got, whether it was security clearances, whether the power to redact. This person is bribed. This person is bought. This person is compromised. This is the president. This is Barr. Okay, that's what I want to say. It's so many other people though, and I can't even like. Anyway, Two of Clubs here clarifies, or the Faithfulness card clarifies this Page of Swords. This tells me that the source or the whistleblower, the leaker, is reliable and secure in their station with this corrupt person still, right? Or even though they're backstabbing them or will backstab them, they're still a reliable source. They're a reliable source. And when I clarified this, kept a tight lid, is now ready to kind of pop, right? And ready to share, counting the days. There's like a countdown. I didn't share with you this clarifier, so now you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, camera at a different angle. Um, when I've clarified this Four of Pentacles, I got surprised. So someone who's kept bottled up is ready to pop and ready to share. They're counting the days. But this may be a scandal involving children or younger people, a scandal that involves someone, and it could be someone presidential or someone close friendship with the president. They've been waiting to talk. They may surprise us. Someone may surprise us and talk. Or maybe some revelation comes out from these files, or records or vaults. This could have something to do with pedophilia or prejudice. Just telling you what the cards are saying. And just real quick, the cards are talking about really wasteful government spending and about this wall and protection of financial records and properties and deeds that are dirty. So I do think that the president is trying to and and especially there's wastefulness of an inheritance, wastefulness of gains. And finally, as a final clarifier of what surprise might mean, I got stanza reversed, which means someone's skeletons are definitely coming out of their closet. And, we're near Biden, we're near Trump, we're near uh, um, the black guy, what's his name? Forget his name. Herman, what's his name? Um, there's discovery of intimate or classified secrets or both. And again, reference to a magazine like the Inquirer. So it may come out via Pecker release, or interview, or a leak. Okay, so that's the best I can do with that reading. I know it's kind of like funky. It's because I'm trying to be a little bit more spontaneous. So I'm not clarifying exactly what I think the cards might mean. I'm not putting it in that orderly fashion that I normally do, but I'm doing this so that I can kind of like be more involved with you guys and interact with you a little more. So I'll be doing a little bit like this and a little bit like the old way in the future. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. It may only be up for a short time because I might take it down. All right, guys. Peace, be good, and God bless. Bye. Thanks, KSW. I'm trying to exit now and I don't know how. Okay, maybe that'll work.